Hi guys, and welcome back to a brand new video on Dom Talks Tech. It's been a really big week for Apple with an announcement of various different products. We've got the new MacBook Air with M4 processor, we've got the new Mac Studio with a couple of different processing options, and then we've also got an upgrade to the iPad lineup with the iPad Air with the M3 processor and the iPad 2025 with the A16 Bionic processor. So in this video I'm going to break down what's new and what's been upgraded and some of the best features, as well as maybe some of the downsides, and most importantly whether these upgrades are worth your hard-earned money. So stick around. Some of these updates may surprise you and some of them may even disappoint you. But without further ado, let's get started. New to the channel and you want to see more videos like this that are deep tech dives into new product announcements, any hands-on videos and tech reviews, then please feel free to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notifications. It really does help boost my videos for more people to see and keeps us growing and keeps me able to make these videos for you guys. Thank you so much guys for watching, and I hope you enjoy this one. Okay, so first product we're going to talk about is the new iPad Air. So one of the main upgrades is the move to the M3 processor. This is not the highest end specification in the Apple M lineup. That comes from the M4 processor, which was unveiled with the iPad Pro from last year. But the M3 should be suitable for most people and increase the performance and processing power on this iPad Air. Another upgrade is you can choose from the sizes. So you've got the 11-inch and the 13-inch on the iPad Air. So if you're looking for a smaller, more portable tablet, you might want to go for the 11-inch iPad. And then of course, if you're wanting to replace your main computer with the iPad Air, then you might want to go with the 13-inch model. There is also a new front-facing camera in the landscape mode, and this is better for FaceTime and video calls. And it also includes Apple's center stage feature, so when you move around within the frame, the camera will follow you to make sure that you stay in the focus. There's nothing huge in terms of design changes apart from those different sizes, but also one of the big increases comes from the accessories, and this includes a updated Magic Keyboard for the iPad Air, and this includes the function row that we saw in the iPad Pro lineup from last year. Comes in those two different model sizes, and this will be a great upgrade for people wanting to replace their main computer with the iPad Air to take around with them. So why won't want to upgrade to the iPad Air? So this is a Pro level power without the Pro level pricing. The iPad Air starts at $599 in the UK, and this is significantly cheaper than the baseline of the iPad Pro in the UK and in America. The iPad Air is better for multitasking. Of course, you've got the 11 and the 13-inch model, so if you're a big power user, you might want to go for that 13-inch model to make sure that you've got all the real estate space you want to for the tasks. You've got the options of those different screen sizes, so you've got something that is suitable for every individual, and this makes it better for productivity, and it will be a really good model for students, creative and other casual users that don't need that pro power from the M4 iPad Pro. Some of the downsides, it doesn't have an OLED display like the iPad Pro, so the display you're going to get on the iPad Air is certainly not as good in terms of the resolution as the iPad Pro. So if you are someone who notices those kind of things, then you probably do want to stick with the iPad Pro. But for most people who are not that bothered about the specifications of the screen, then the iPad Air is going to be perfectly suitable for you. There's also no Face ID like the iPad Pro, and it comes with Touch ID only, which is in the power button at the top of the iPad. And again, there's no major design changes. The iPad Air is pretty much the same as it was last year, apart from that M3 being the main upgrade. So the final verdict, if you're coming from a very, very recent iPad Air model, including the M2 from last year, then you might want to stick with the same model that you've got at the moment. But if you've got a previous generation model, then and certainly something that has not got the M processors, then this might be the jump for you. It also includes features like Apple Intelligence, which of course were not available on any of the older models. So if that's something that you're interested in, then the iPad Air might be an upgrade for you. If you've got any questions or any queries about the iPad Air, then do drop them in the comments. I'll be happy to come back to you and answer those questions. Okay, next up, let's talk about the iPad 2025. There's no kind of model. We've got rid of that model. It's just the iPad of 2025. The main kind of upgrade to this is it's got the A16 Bionic chip in it. It's not got the M series chips, as you'll notice. It's got the A series. But again, if you're not a heavy power user, then this is going to be perfectly reasonable for you on most tasks. It's also got improved Apple Pencil support, so if you're a person that does take notes on the iPad, then this is something that's really going to be beneficial to you. And it's got a sleeker design, moving it a bit closer to the iPad Air and iPad Pro design as well. Base storage has been upgraded, so it actually starts at 128 gigabytes now, thank you, Apple. It's so much better in this 2025 to move to 128 gigabytes of storage, because 64 certainly was not enough for most users in this day and age. There's also a slight battery life upgrade, but again, I can't test this and show this for you in person, so that is something that we'll have to rely on Apple's specification sheet for. So again, why might you want to upgrade to the new iPad? Well, if you're just using the iPad to watch videos and to browse the internet and do light word processing tasks, then this is going to be a great upgrade for you. The A16 Bionic processor is a really good processor for most tasks, and it's going to be suitable for the majority of people that fit within that category. Obviously, if you're on a budget, then this iPad is going to be perfect for you, and going to be the kind of life that you're going to get out of it is going to be really good. But obviously, if you are a pro user and you need pro apps on your iPad device, then this is not going to be suitable, and you want to go for something like the iPad Air or the iPad Pro. There's no M series on this, so it doesn't get Apple Intelligence. So if you're bothered about the AI features, then this is not going to be the iPad that's for you. Probably going to get a lot of life out of it and upgrades for years to come. On this iPad, there's still no fully laminated display. So again, if you're someone who's conscious about the specifications of display and watching content, then you might want to look at either the iPad Air or the iPad Pro. But if you're on a budget and you're moving from a previous generation iPad, then this is going to be a great version for you, and it starts at £349, so it's a really, really good iPad to get into. If you've got any questions about the iPad, drop them down in the comments and I'll come back to you and answer those queries. Okay, moving swiftly on to probably one of the most exciting product announcements of this week. It's the MacBook Air with the M4 processor. This is a really good upgrade from the last generation of the MacBook Air, and of course I've just said it's got the M4 processor, which includes 30% faster performance on the previous generation with M3, and it also has better efficiency gains as well. Of course, the main upgrades of moving to the Apple Silicon chips is that you actually get far better performance, and of course, because it's made by Apple, they can make more efficiency gains as well. It's available in the same 13-inch and 15-inch models, so you've got a choice of screen sizes to play with. There's also battery life of 18 hours on these devices, so it should be suitable for most users. And there's also got an upgraded 12 megapixel front-facing camera with a center stage that I mentioned previously for better FaceTime and video calls. So if you're moving from a previous generation MacBook Air, maybe with the M1 processor, then certainly if you're moving to the M4, it's going to be a massive upgrade and you're going to notice those gains. But if you're moving from the M3 or M2 processor MacBook Air, then it's probably not going to be something that you're going to be that bothered about. There is a really nice new sky blue colour, which I'll show in the videos that are displaying over the top of this section, and it's going to be perfect for most students, office workers and casual content creators. So if you're doing some light video and editing, then the MacBook Air with M4 is going to be perfectly suitable for you. So again, some of the downsides: there's no ProMotion display on the MacBook Air, and it's not got 120Hz display like the MacBook Pro models, and it's not got a drastic redesign in terms of the overall body of the MacBook Air. But again, the MacBook Air is such a well-loved design, and it's so light and portable that actually it works, and so there's no reason at this stage to upgrade it. Again, the M3 MacBook Air users probably won't notice any upgrade in terms of the M4, so it's something that you probably want to skip. So the final verdict for this one is it's a solid evolution, but certainly not something that you want to consider if you're on the M2 and M3 MacBook Airs already. Having said that, if you're from an Intel version still or an older M1 MacBook Air, then the M4 MacBook Air is probably something that you want to consider. It will be a huge leap in terms of power and performance, and will allow you to last for many generations and updates to come. Any questions about the MacBook Air, then drop them down in the comments below, and I'll be more than happy to come back to you and answer those questions down there. And last but not least, let's talk about the new Mac Studio, which got a very surprising upgrade this week. I don't think many people were actually expecting this upgrade, but the Mac Studio got a refresh. This is a powerhouse and a power user's computer. So the Mac Studio comes with two different chip options. We've got the M4 Max chip, but we've also got the M3 Ultra chip, which was quite a surprise to a lot of people. We thought we were going to get the M4 Ultra chip, but unfortunately that's not being pushed into this model. So you've got the M3 Ultra and the M4 Max processors to play with. For most people and most power users, this is going to be more than sufficient and allow you to configure that up to some really high specifications. So with the M3 Ultra configuration, this offers 32 CPU cores and 80 GPU cores. So again, it should be more than sufficient for most people and power users. There's also more ports and improved cooling on the Mac Studio, so again it should be really good for video editing, graphic design or higher end processing powers. There's also better GPU performance for video editors, 3D designers and developers on this Mac Studio, so if that is something that you're really looking for in terms of an upgrade, then the Mac Studio is going to be something worth considering for this year. I've touched on this previously, but who is this model going to be mainly aimed at? It's going to be mainly aimed at professionals that need some raw processing power to actually do their work and get it done. It's not going to be for someone who isn't bothered about that kind of real processing power and need for speed, and essentially for the Mac Studio. Anyone who's working with 4K or 8K video, then of course this is going to be perfect for you, and any heavy development tasks on the Mac Studio. Again, I've kind of touched on this previously, but the cons is going to be it's far too overpowered and overkill for casual users. If you're looking for something that's more portable or not got this level of power, then probably the Mac Mini is going to be much better for most people if you're doing more casual day-to-day tasks. It's very expensive and it's certainly not for everyone. It starts at £1,999 for the M4 Max and then £3,999 for the M3 Ultra. So if you need power, then the Mac Studio is certainly for you, and it fits in a very, very small form factor that sits on your desk. If you need portability, then you're going to want to consider something like the MacBook Pro or MacBook Air, because of course the Mac Studio requires a desktop setup. But if you are a power user, you require all that power to get your work done and you're doing video editing and 3D graphic design, then the Mac Studio is perfect for you. Questions on the Mac Studio, then drop them down in the comments below. I'll be more than happy to come back to you and answer any questions or queries. Okay, so that's it for this video, just talking about the Apple upgrades for this week. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments below, and what are you going to be considering upgrading to any of these new products? If you've got any questions about any of the products that I've discussed today, then drop them down in the comments below or reach out to me on my social media channel, Dontop's Tech. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you've got. And if you enjoyed this video, please do feel free to give that a like. It does help boost this video for more people to see, and it keeps this channel growing and allows me to do more videos just like this. And if you are new to the channel and want to keep seeing content like this, then please do feel free to subscribe and get more tech deep dives like this. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.